Welcome to another Get Ready Traders live session. I am your host, Luis Rodriguez, and I am excited you're here. Today we are doing live technical analysis and stepping right into the futures market. Whether it's NASDAQ, gold, US30, or even crypto, we will be looking for the best trading opportunities as they set up in real time. If this is your first time here, buckle up. The market moves really fast and we'll be breaking it all down with a clear, efficient approach in 90 minutes or less. Before we get started, do me a huge favor. Hit that like, subscribe, and share this session so other traders like you can join us. I really appreciate your support. All right, the markets are moving, familia, so let's get started and enjoy the session. Good morning, familia. Good morning. Your friend, your educator, Luis Rodriguez, live on a Thursday, familia. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to be looking at the market today, familia. We're going to be looking at NASDAQ specifically, and we're going to be looking at trade opportunities to see what the market is going to give us today. The market already opened. I usually come an hour earlier, but I wasn't feeling very well last night, so I had to rest a little bit longer than usual and woke up a little bit late. But all good, all good. I just what is important is to show up. That's what is important. So here we are. And just quickly looking at the market, it's actually not bad for the fact that already did this nice move. Looks like it could be an early wave 3 formation to the upside, but we are still below the gamma flip. So this was an original move that I would want to take to sell, but looks like it's already doing an early wave 3. Yep. So okay. Since the market is already doing this, this is a very simple trade. You can buy right now the market, put your stop loss below this low point, aiming back to 122, 123 above the gamma flip. So you can buy out of that area right now as we speak. I'm gonna be doing that right now as we speak. 1 second. 1 second. This is a quick one. Not going to think about it twice. Buying the market, buying the market, buying the market, buying the market. So let's go. I'm buying the market right now. Anybody buying with me? I'm buying right now. Buying right now. Buying NAS. Buying NAS. Buying NAS. Buying NAS right now. Let's go. Buying the market. We'll be closing 121 R&R and locking profits, okay? Right here. There we'll be securing some profits. It's almost there. Just to catch that early wave and leave it running. That's all I'm doing right now. This was a quick one. That's important to have the ability of being able to detect this kind of movement so quick. All right, so I'll be closing partials, 50% of it. 50% of it right now. Closing 50% right now. Oh boy. There you go. Right on the spot, huh? Right on the spot. Right on the spot. There you go. Right on the money, familia. Right on the money. Right on the money. If it goes back down, I don't want to be in that trade. As long as it keeps moving higher and higher and higher, we're in the money. How's everybody doing? Hello, Lisa. Hello, Angie. I know everybody has been really busy. I've been really busy, familia, this week. Like super busy. I just want to get launched the website and everything aligned so I can have a lot more free time. But the thing with me is that I rush a lot into things and then I crash. That's the problem. Like not sleeping, it gets to you. Anyways, that's pretty much what we're doing. Let's go. Just waiting for the market to kick me out or put me more in. But it's just moving slow. So I shared some of this stuff in the community 2 days ago, I believe. But I want to talk about it again, and I'm not sure if you guys know about it. Some of the changes that are happening in the futures world, and it's all happening in the month of August. So the introduction of nano contracts into the futures, it's going to make a big change, and there's a reason. Well, as you guys know, as the time things are evolving in the trading industry, a lot of algos and a lot of AI and a lot of companies that are growing exponentially. Like there's a lot of volatility kicking in, super crazy volatility, and the market is moving in ways that it's insane. So for people, a big part of it, believe it or not, because it wasn't like that before. Like the retail atmosphere, it's bigger too in the trading world, but by introducing nano contracts, it allows this atmosphere to be able to handle positions better. Not sure how Preference will be handling that. I'm not sure if they will allow it right away, maybe a few months down the road, but that's something that is happening as we speak, already happened. Especially for investors that are there. That's one. And number two, they are also allowing companies in the options world to start putting transactions before bell opening. So that's 9:30 Eastern. They will allow some of these companies that are already in NASDAQ to be able to transact, generate the rate of options. And that can happen anywhere between 6 a.m. to and 9:30 before the bell opens. Okay, so what that means is that there will be a lot more volatility, crazy volatility before the market opens. It can happen. Everything depends on the opportunities that are there, right? We all know how the pre-market works. It's not as aggressive as bell opening, but there's a window always between London and New York that volatility kicks in better than alone at the London alone, and that's a pre-market movement. That pre-market movement will be more aggressive. That's what I'm saying. So get ready for it. All of that is already happening as we speak, and everything depends on the context of the market. Okay. All right. So I'm waiting. Waiting. Waiting to see this reaction. Not sure how it will go, but probably will stay there, lingering for a little bit. But if it is another wave 3, it's supposed to go to the upside. So you gotta wait. But I already closed 50% of it, so it's a win to me. Don't care. And if the market goes down and they decide to push even further down, it's totally fine because we are below the daily gamma. So that's the original trade that I would take out of this would be coming from here selling. So I'm almost out. Almost, let me see, almost out. By a hair. By a little hair. By a hair. What's up, Rene? Are you back in Germany or Switzerland? Still in Switzerland? The good thing about swing trading and in trades that you can set and forget pretty much. Set and forget. I'm gonna be making some improvements to the Eagle signal because it's very strict, and the way the market is moving needs to switch a little bit because we're getting a lot of warnings, a lot of like market watch on it, telling you the areas that it's constantly watching. Again, this is a bot that is developed for intra and swing trades, and it's just watching so many things. It's why it's called eagle signals, because it's like an eagle just watching if there's an opportunity to go and bite it, and he's telling the community how often he's actually watching opportunity. But the way this market is moving is bad. It's extremely bad. So we have in those signals, and I know when you want to ask, like, how can we understand what is it actually doing? So we have a cycle for every trade. So we have a confirmation. First, start with the market watch. Let me see if I can bring this up so you guys can see the actual. Oh boy, I can't even see my own screen. I'll show you guys what it's actually doing in this cycle. So, and I'm actually gonna show part of the website. It's not supposed to do that. I don't care. You guys will see it anyways. That will be for the VIP. This is what it's actually doing, and it's constantly watching it, constantly watching it. So first, you start with this thesis. Once it passes thesis, it goes to a watch. That's when it's sending you guys the confirmation. Say, hey, listen, this is what we're watching. Then it will confirm and send a confirmation. So far, it has gone as far as this confirm. Then when it actually seeing a good opportunity, goes to a plan. It tells you exactly what it's going to do. Then execution. The execution, it will be a pending order, and obviously the management of the trade. That will take time, and we're always looking at the 15-minute time frame. We don't go further down. That's one of them, and this is what it's constantly doing. Everybody will have access to this stuff through the website. I want to launch it as fast as possible, but I'm just making sure that I have enough there for people to continue with their education and the other stuff that they're doing, which is already there. All right, so that's pretty much what's on our side, but it's fully loaded. There's so many things in there. It's pretty cool. And I finally got out. Got me out. Let me see if there's another opportunity to buy again. For now, no. It can go, okay, if it goes down here, I will go back and get out of this fair value gap here at the bottom. I will go back in. I will do this if it goes there, and my stop loss again will be short, very small, in case I decide to kick me out. Okay, so what do you guys think? All right, and that's just one of the things that we're doing, and it's not just looking at NAS, it's looking at more instruments. But even gold is been pretty crazy for swing. It's just the amount of consolidation that he's doing. That's why a lot of swing traders at some point go and scalp the market, because the waiting time, it's insane. A lot of, like, we either go into the scalping market, or we just have a ton of instruments to watch. And that's what I have these. Oh, look at that. The trade just went back up, and that's why I have such a wide area, especially in forex, that I used to look at opportunities, right? But I don't want to put all this enable on the bot, because then it's just going to be bombarding like crazy all day through many other instruments to see an opportunity. Or either I do that, or I just simply don't send anything that is watching, and just send the confirmation, say, hey, USD there is an opportunity right now, take it. I can do that, but it's just gonna overload many things here, because this is actually looking through a lot. Anyways, there will be always room for improvement on this, and again, these are strategies and things that I use for a long time. When I see them, I take them. Right? We have to have many tools to tackle the market. We just can't be depending on TAs. TAs is the easy part of trading. You see how quick I go in there and just go poof, in 2 minutes, bye. It's like a TA it takes seconds when you are really good at this stuff, but it takes time to get there too, right? But the market is becoming so hard and so hard and so hard that you really need to have tools to win every day. Don't think that not having any tools, just having one or two things, that's it. I mean, familia, institutions, banks, hedge funds, all of them have insane systems. Insane. So you can't imagine you go to a war and the other person on the other side have like missiles, tanks, all kinds of stuff, and you just have a little knife. That's all you got. You're like, yep, I'm gonna defeat that guy. You gotta pray a lot to do that part. What I'm saying is that this is a battle. I'm telling you, this is a battle, and you gotta bring all your A game. You gotta bring your tools out. You gotta do it. You gotta leave the pride behind. Be like, oh my God, because I am the best trader in the world. It's all I do. You know, I say it simple. Keep it simple. No, my friend, use what you know. Use what you got. Don't be afraid of it. At the end, what matters is what you're cashing out, the withdrawals. That's what matters. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm giving you just my advice, because I've seen what is out there, and I've seen like aggressive people, what they're actually doing. Especially now, I went to that institution. I was there for almost 2 months, actually seeing what they do. Quite crazy. Anyways, but we're waiting here. I'm not in any trade. The market went back into the same area after this nice drop. Oh boy, that's the part that pissed me off. When the market goes kicking me out and goes back in. Exactly that. It goes like poof, out, poof, back in. It's like, come on. That's why there's so many traders that they don't care about this stuff. They just hold the position, you know. They don't care. They just simply don't care. There's a very well-known what's the proper name so you guys don't get confused. There's a way that, for example, automation, risk management, many things that we do, like professional traders, we understand this stuff like very well, and that's why they focus mainly all the time into those big home runs. There's a reason behind it. I am a trader that over time I learned how the market was evolving, that I had to close and secure my profits very short, like right away, and walk away from the computer and have like those small goals so I can gradually grow my accounts. It took me a long time, years, to do that. You see a lot of traders now that within 6 months they go and build $100,000, and they're doing YouTube, doing like all this Discord and stuff, crazy, right? I learned that over time those people crash very, very quick. The same way they go up, the same way they go down, and they disappear. Okay, it happens. But in order for you to have, that consistency, you need to focus in those small wins, and that's what I do. That's what I close this transaction 1-to-1, and I'm like, I'm good with it. I made there, what was it, $85, and I'm good. And I repeat that over the day, and when I'm catching out a good 400, 500, 600 bucks, I walk out. That's how I build my wealth. Okay, but a lot of traders out there focus in big home runs for a huge reason. There's a huge value on it, huge value, and I wanna share with you guys so you guys understand. Let me quickly, because I know a lot of people, when I went to school and I understood how money works and why institutions think that way, because they actually apply these things. Okay, you guys ever heard about standard deviation? We use it in trading as well, but in statistics and things that are applied to how to grow money exponentially over time. Let me just quickly, I want to show you guys here how actually money works in a way. Hey, where is it? Can you guys see my screen? Yes. So the way this works is that he believes that 15%, and sorry for my chicken scratch, 50% of trading makes 85% of the wealth that you build over time, like big growth, like millionaires and everybody that is like making it big. This is the magic formula that they have. And then you're like, wait a minute, what do you mean 50% of successful trades gives you 85% of all the wealth that we build? And there's another 15% out of this that is small stuff, but they don't focus into those little ones. That's like breadcrumbs. But the big money, those guys that are talking about like millions of dollars, this is actually what they pay attention to. And how do they know this? And this is what is called a standard deviation. So you have a straight line like this, and this is how it works. A straight line, well, not so straight to me, but you know what, it would make a straight line. That's so fun. A straight line like this. All right, boom. And then you got another line like this, straight line. And you got this, something like that. Wham, 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 wham. This area here represents 15% of wealth. This here, 70%. 70%. And this here, another 15%, to make 100% of everything. But in a trade cycle, you're gonna have winners and losers. That's how it works in the industry. You're gonna have winners and losers. So here in this side, the 15% of all the transactions that you do are going to be losers. This is the loser side. Everything that happens in between here, this 70%, is going to be that breadcrumbs, like all these little wins that you do, the $10, the $5, the $3, the whatever account size you have, but will be the very small one. The very small one has to be in between this here, this 70%, the majority of them, that's what I'm saying, the majority of those trades will be very small. That's why 70%. And then on this side are the home runs. These 15% will be those occasional trades that they grow exponentially large. They go really far. So a quick example, in $1,000 account, that's when you go and hit that 1 to 5, 1 to 6, 1 to 8 R&R. It happens on this side. So the majority of the traders, the big traders out there, they focus a lot into this one because that's what really builds the wealth. That's what really built the wealth. This here usually breaks even. Usually breaks even a lot. You're gonna have little wins, small losses, like those things. Usually at the end of the month, they come like break even. Sometimes you're a little bit ahead. And to build wealth, this 70% just takes extremely a lot of time to get to where you can go with this 15%. You guys understand now why those big guys are there, are like putting those big numbers and like focusing in those like 1 to 3, 1 to 4 in swing trade, is because they know this stuff. They know the power of this thing, and they only want to focus on this one. But wait a minute, Luisito, what happened to that? What happened to these other 15%? You know what happened to these other 15%? If we don't control these 15%, because on these both sides you can have exponential wins or really long losses. On this side, this is the side where our trades are managed very poorly, where we are constantly expanding the stop losses. We don't have proper risk management. We are doing everything else we do to fail, and fail long. Have you ever thought that, okay, every time you burn an account, you're like, oh my God, I just lost $2,000. You lost $2,000 on a trade, on one single trade. That's part of that 15%. If that $2,000 wasn't this side, you wouldn't make $2,000, right? So the same way that you're treating these losses, just invert that, put it on this side. Whatever wrong you're doing here, try to do it on this side. If you're adding positions leading to a failed trade, add positions leading to a positive trade. You know what I mean? So they focus, they learn from their mistakes so they can improve their wins. This 70% is going to be all that stuff that you do in the middle. Those, what I'm doing here right now, closing 1 to 1, securing profit, letting the runner like that. That's that 70% right there. That is that 70%. But when you focus in this, learn from the mistakes that you're doing here and inject them right here, this 15% will make the 85% of your wealth. Like, I'm talking about millions and millions of dollars long term. That's literally, and I'm trying to make it easier to understand. There's obviously more things into it, but that is the actual formula. That's what we understand, how the market works. And the majority of those trades that we're seeing every day here, all those 1 to 1, all those like little things, you can't escape them. You got to do them. Because in the way, okay, this is how I landed doing the setup that I have in my head. The closing 1 to 1 is secure profits to me, landing a winning trade in this 70%. The other 50% that I always leave a runner running, because I don't know if this trade is gonna, the truth is, I don't know if this trade is gonna go to the bottom or go to the top. So how I am controlling the other, this is the 15% that goes wrong. This 15% that goes wrong, this is how I control it. I secure my profit, winning, right? Poof. I have a win on this 70%, and then move my stop to break even to protect my capital, so this running trade doesn't fall into the 15%. Because if I do all the opposite, let's say I believe that this trade will go to the moon. This is my thesis. I believe this trade is gonna go to the moon no matter what.
and the trade start going down, and I move this stop loss, poof, lower and lower and lower and lower, making my loss a lot bigger, I am doing all the opposite that I'm supposed to do here, increasing a loss on my account, making that 50% 85% of my losses. You know what I mean? So that's why I came up with the conclusion that if I secure profit 1-to-1, I'm always going to be on this side, which is actually what really happens over time. As I said to you, that 70% to go to make the profit that you can make here, it takes insane amount of time. Years can take you. But that's why I've been doing this for such a long time, and my accounts, the real money accounts are large because of that reason. Not because of I'm doing, a home run in 1 year making a ton of money. It's because of that 1-to-1. When you apply this concept, you control the losses, you control this, you control it, right? Now you are focusing in this area a lot. So that 50% that I leave running, that runner that can break this area and do, and can continue exponentially growing to the upside, can work on this 15%. And that 50%, what you see here, will make 85% of my profit. It will exponentially grow really far. Okay, just look at it this way. A lot of wealthy people out there that I have like a ton of money, they here this side, a lot of them only have like 60%. Imagine that. Just having a 60% on this side, you can still make $1 million. Isn't that crazy? And still they still do it because they are focused in the long, in this area, in the long-term trades. This here, the 70%, it will always happen, always. But if, for example, and this happens a lot to swing traders and intraday traders, that they said one thing, they don't even take partials, they focus in 1-to-3, 1-to-2. The standard is like 1-to-3. That's what you see most people doing out there to close a trade. That 1-to-3, right? We're talking about, this is the risk here, 3 times this here. So 1, 2, around here, for example, for this trade. They only focus on that 1-to-3, 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 no matter what. But they don't expand this stop loss. They don't expand it. Whatever comes, and it happens, it happens. The truth is, this is crazy here. A proper swing trader or intraday trader would never put their stop loss right on the edge of this lower low. They always leave a little bit of manipulation room. They use things like the ATR, like all these tools to know what the market is doing so they can expand or contract that area, right? Because the manipulation in any market happens and they want to avoid it, right? Or they can also lower down their entry so they can have a better point of execution. But they focus in those long-term trades, like the 1-to-3, 1-to, even more than that, so they can see this 15% more. But that way, familia, the truth is, how the market is moving, you hit so many stop losses like that, but even doing that, you still get 60%. And I'm telling you, a person right now with 60% efficiency, talking about millions of dollars, just focusing in those long-term trades. But again, the stuff that I share with you guys, how I manage my trade, you can grow those accounts in both ways. Okay, you can grow them slowly, securing profit slowly, and when you hit those home runs, poof, you land those trades here. And this 50%. What I try to control a lot is this here, this side. I try to control it the best I can, to not fall into a big time losing trade. That's pretty much how it works, Amelia. And when I understood this back in school, when I understood this well, and I was like, man, that's crazy. It's powerful. It is powerful. Look at that. He's trying to break that 1-to-1. But this is NAS, right? This is NAS. This is like, there's other markets like gold and things like that that they grow a lot more, or they move a lot more. I know gold was like tanking earlier today. Let's see, gold. I have no idea what it's gold doing. Yeah, look at that. It went down. Now it's going back up. My goodness. Wow. My goodness. Anyways, everybody clear with that stuff? You guys are good? Just free education. Isn't that good? Nothing better than free education. When I understood that familia, it was like, wow. Wow. But I'm sharing this so you guys see why when you go online and you see other traders posting their results, these are people that probably understand what I just explained to you. Oh, they learn it from somebody else who understand that, and they just mimic what all these other traders taught them. There's a kid that he's like 21, 22 years old kid. This kid, he is becoming a huge celebrity. I don't know him personally. I know people that know him. He's from Punta Cana, Dominican. But he's in Top Step, has been like for many months, almost let's say probably a year or so, one of the top traders in Top Step. And he was always in these reports. Like, you know, Top Step, they always show that, like, who's the lead trader. It was always his name. I always see him. His name is Jeffrey. I'm like, I don't know who's Jeffrey. But this kid is actually a neighbor of a friend of mine in Dominican, and I didn't know. So this kid understands this very well. First of all, his mentor taught him this stuff, and the way he trades is very simple. Like, he only do breaks of NAS, breaks of areas, and not. I think it was like maybe a month or two ago, before I went to Prague, NAS made a huge move, a huge crazy move to the downside, and this kid landed $100,000 plus in Top Step. The owner of Top Step called him, interviewed him, because he's very consistent. But the one thing that he does have is these big earners, big home runs, big trades, because he focused a lot into those ones. He has little ones too, but he, like, when he does a home run, he's a big one. And he's a top trader, only 21-year-old, breaking huge money in trading. But when he doesn't, he takes it slow, just like me. Slow. So one of the things that I learned was also to manage trade properly. That 1-to-1 locks in profit. You're on that 70%. But it's important for you to also know when to add position into a winning trade. I don't recommend people to do it in a scalping. That's the truth. I don't recommend people to do it in a scalping at all, because a winning trade that you're running can turn into a losing trade. And if you add positions to it, it's as bad as expanding your stop loss. As bad. So I only add positions to a winning trade when I'm doing intraday or swing trade. Only. And it needs to be followed by a structure. The people that have gone through the educations that we have through GRT, they know how to do it. I explain it very easy. But that's how institutions manage their trades as well, right? You gotta have those levels marked down, and do trailing stop on every trade that you do. That's how you do it, family. It's very important to know that, because again, that's what builds wealth. Focus in those home runs, I want to say, but properly, not just like, that's all I'm gonna do, home runs all the time. Home runs, no. Make sure you know how to manage your trades. learn it, my friends. I show you the way I do it. Then I just sit and wait. Sit and wait. I don't add positions. I don't that okay. That's another topic that I talked about with another friend a few days ago. Why people add positions to a losing trade? Any of you add positions to a losing trade? Yes? No? I've seen many people out there adding positions to losing trades. And there's a psychology behind it. Huge psychology behind it. But that's a no-no. You should never add position to a losing trade unless you're doing a step loss and you know exactly what you're doing. Only if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, it's like playing with fire. You will not win. You will lose. Always lose. I promise you that. You are expanding your risk. You are doing so many things on the wrong side. It's not recommended. That's called average pricing on a negative trade. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it works. I'm not gonna lie, and that's the thing. The market condition you, because sometimes it works, and you're like, oh my god. But you know, a lot of people, when they average price, when they add positions to a losing trade, the hope they have is just to break even, not even to win that trade. It goes so deep, and you only want that price to go back, because you know the brokers are very small. Now they throw a line on that, saying, hey, this is the line. Poof, look. If the price goes again to that line, your nose is above the water. You can close the transaction. Imagine, you know how many times, wonder how many times those people that average the add position to a negative trade, the trade just go minus 500, minus 600, minus 700. And then when he returns and he goes back to that line, you close it, you're like, oh my god, I'm safe. I just saved my account. You know, that is terrible. That is terrible. You should never do that. Never. Just to be safe. What you should do, always trust your trade. And when the trade goes against you and they kick that stop loss, it's actually saving your account. It's actually saving your account. And you know, and I talk about it before you hit that win or lose, or that trade, that entry, that sell or buy, sorry. Make sure that you know exactly what you're risking, the amount of money, and you are okay with that, to lose that money. Prepare your mind to lose it and be okay with it. Because if you don't, then you're gonna be, the market will be playing with your system, nervous system. It will be like, oh my god, I can't lose $200 because that's, I don't know, grocery shopping for me for a month. Then don't risk 200, risk $20. You gotta risk an amount that you just simply don't care. When you like start opening positions and when you simply don't care about that when you're not checking, that's a position that you should be always risking. Is it $5? Is it $10? I don't know. With prop firms, it's a little bit different because like the price that we pay for a prop firm right now, you know, so many have really good deals, $100. You know, in the back of your mind, you know that you're only losing $100. But if you are not doing things right, you're gonna burn one account, two account, three account, five. That is what's gonna add you at the end of the month to your real money, because you're buying off your real money in the negative, into the negative. And you, when you look at your bank account, you say, my god, I am minus $1,000 just buying prop firms. Why? Because you didn't have control on all the stuff you were doing. You were playing with your money. It's like playing with your money. You had a casino mentality. So yeah, every trade that you open, make sure that you don't care about it. If it goes into the negative, and you will see and never add any position to it. You will never feel like you're draining. That you know, like you need like air. You're checking. Oh my god, I need to save this account. And the funny part is that sometimes you're like adding position to a losing trade, and it gets to a point of no return that you just simply don't care. You just sit there watching that account burn. You're like, yep, bye. It happens. I've done it. That's what I'm telling you. I've done it. That's what I learned from my mistakes. And it happens to the best of us. Like, I don't think there's a top trader out there that won't burn any accounts. Everybody burns accounts. But I'm telling you the safest way to handle it. Like, there's sometimes that you just get really bad trades. Sometimes the psychology is just not there. You're just like not there. You sit here to trade. When you know better, you shouldn't. All of that happens, Amelia. All of that. And I'm just sharing those things to you guys. If you guys can relate to it, good. Because I'm telling you what I learned from my mistakes, so I don't apply it when I feel the same way. But anyways, this market is really just playing with our feelings, not moving the way it should, moving very, very poorly. We are still below the negative gamma, going up and down, up and down, up and down like a ping pong. Let's just wait. But again, this here goes back into that 70%. And if that 70% adds up, right? Let's say you have 5, 3, 4 consecutive wins. It's just part of that 70%. It can be something similar to this, right? That's why it's the biggest area, the biggest one. But in this big area, you will have a lot of little transactions, a lot of small transactions compared to the big one. You will see it on your ledger. You will see it on your journal. Your PL, you're gonna say, wait a minute, why do I have $5, $5, $5, $5, and then $40, $50, right? That is that 15% of those winners. Those $50, $40, that's a 50%, 15% of those winners. They're not going to be as many, but that's what's really going to add you up fast. Now, if you do the opposite, it's going to be minus 50, minus 70, minus 80. That's the one that you have to reduce it as much as you can. And keep your losers on the 70% side. Keep that 15% as close as possible to 0. And if you keep this, let's say at 8%, this number here is going to be greater, right? Right? If you keep this at, I don't know, 5%, which is super low, we're talking about here 80% now. 80% of your transactions will happen here. 80%. So this side will be much lower. But you're going to have a lot more transactions. I'm truly, the way when I look at my journal, I am more like this right now. Around that specific area that I'm showing you. I have a lot of transactions in this here. A lot of them. Here, between probably 10 to 15%. 10 to 15. My big runners are here, but they're not as often as these ones here. Here it's very low, like super low. I will have very little long losses because I control my trades like that, and that percentage of my losses are random things that are not under my control. Stupid things that I would do. A fat finger in a trade. When I say fat finger, that you're supposed to put like one contract and you put 10, for example, and the thing just explode. Things like that. Not closing a transaction when you should close them. Those are mistakes that it happens to the best of us when we're like putting things in here, when we're like talking, looking at my fish tank, and I don't pay attention, all that stuff. When somebody called me, I turn around and I come back and I forgot to put in a stop loss. All of that falls into that area. It happens. But that's how I measure, that's how I have it, that's how I see it. Anyways, familia, this market is dog doodle right now. Thursday, not moving so crazy. My God, Bitcoin at 71,000. That's good. Back into the grind. That's fantastic. But anyways, familia, I'm gonna leave the broadcast now. I gotta go back into the chart here. I'm gonna keep making some changes to this bot, and I will see you guys later on. Okay. Anyways, peace out, familia. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Take care.